Hey everyone, so if you didn't know already, the PlayStation Vita TV finally got its firmware update to remote play to the PlayStation 4. So you can perhaps put your Vita TV in another room and it will act sort of pretty much like a second PlayStation 4. So I updated the firmware on my Vita TV and now I'm going to actually show you. So let's jump to a direct capture of the Vita, the actual, direct capture of the screen. This is post commentary, by the way. I recorded all this separately and then I'm talking over it now while I'm doing some editing. So anyway, we updated the firmware, and now there is the PS4 Link app, so we're going to start that and give it a go. And it's, what you'd expect, really, except the icon has changed now for Vita TV. You hit next, and it's going to start searching for my PS4, which, as you just saw in the beginning video, my PS4 is right there. This is right in the same room, same network, so we should have the best possible connection. For my connection, my internet, for example, is 20 down, so this is certainly it should be a viable test. So there it is right there. Right off the bat, I can tell you that, and keep in mind, this is YouTube, right? So there's no great way to get a sense of what the actual thing is for you. Like, I can only explain it, really. It's clearly compressed when I looked at it. It looks great as a capture, certainly, because it's really only limited to 720p, but there's certainly, it's got that compressed look, just like when you remote play it regularly on a handheld Vita. It looks much better when it's actually blown out on a TV, but still you get that definite sense of, like, this is a compressed image, and of course you're not getting true 1080p. The frames per second is, of course, capped at 30 or lower, because even if you're going to play a 60 frames per second game, you're not going to get that quality. So now I'm just going to show you a little bit of gameplay. Here's me playing some Resogun. Again, you're really not, like, on YouTube, you're really not going to get that sense of compression or, how it really looks. But I can tell you, at least from what I saw, it was, again, it's better than if you're actually playing on a handheld Vita. Like, Vita TV's clearly better in that regard. Here's some Octodad footage. Octodadding it around. Now the thing is, we also, the Vita TV now also supports DualShock 4. So if you're going to be using the touchpad, or if you want to use Rumble support or anything like that, it works now. And of course, you can use the DualShock 4 on the Vita TV for when you're playing actual Vita games, or whatever you want to do. Here I'm starting Outlast. And Outlast actually had a little bit of an issue. Not a huge issue, but right here you'll see that, when's it going to happen? There we go. Yeah, that happened in real time, and then, like, top left corner gave me a little, PS4 thing. It kept playing, though, so it was pretty fine. But there were certain instances where there was definitely some pretty big input lag. Most of it was good, but there was definitely enough there to be an issue. Here I'm playing Killzone Shadowfall online, mind you, and this is probably not a very good idea at all, that I certainly don't recommend. Playing Killzone Shadowfall online, through remote play, on a Vita TV, still with a DualShock 4, feels like the same thing, but this had some pretty heavy input lag. You can actually see right here, I actually have some real trouble getting this guy, because, like, it was bad. I certainly don't recommend actually doing this. I think one thing to really take away from this for sure is, like, some people will always comment and ask me questions about the Vita TV, saying, should I import this? Like I did in my earlier Vita TV video, no, don't import one. Like, there's no reason to, because currently it only supports the Japanese PlayStation Network and the PlayStation Store. You can't log in with a US PSN ID. And if you're thinking, okay, well, I'll just use a Japanese ID, well, it's like you can't access your game saves or anything like that. If you try to remote play to your PS4, it's not going to work, because you have to use the same PSN ID as your PS4. More than likely, you're using a UK or US ID, and you're not going to be able to register the devices and actually do remote play. Thus, like, it's just, there's no point in actually getting one. Like I said, I only bought one to do YouTube videos on it and show you that coverage. Here's like a little menu that shows clearly there's the DualShock 4 support. Now let's do a direct comparison via. This is the camera pointing at the TV. This is the best I could do to try to convey to you the compression. Here's like a really close-up shot. Again, this is my camera just pointing at my TV screen. You can kind of get a sense of how sharper the PS4 clearly is compared to when you're doing remote play via the Vita TV. Again, this is the best I can do for you, and it's on YouTube too, so that even, again, is another filter of how inaccurate this is. But like I said, if you're considering this, like, don't import it. It's just, there's just no point to it. You can't even use your ID. You'd have to restart all your games. When I started recording this footage, I had to start a new game on Octodad, Outlast, Killzone, Infamous. It's like, there's just no point. Hopefully that helps, though. Gave you a little bit of insight on that. Hopefully Sony does something with the Vita TV. It's not really selling well in Japan, and I still doubt it will actually come to the West. But hey, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next one. Take care.